He is a serial stalker of young women who has committed multiple acts of physical and sexually motivated violence. And our daughter's life was changed forever when he broke into our house and assaulted her. She was 13.
There we go.
Good morning.
Good morning. So I am handling Mr. Alveno this morning for Mr. Campbell. There was just two things he wanted me to make sure to get across to the board before you interview him. First of all, he does speak English very well. However, he takes a slight hesitation before speaking. It is not to be rude or disrespectful. He just processes it. He wanted me to let you know that. And also, due to his original special sentence, the Board of Parole release in July 21st, 22. Mr. Campbell will be submitting another change to the board for that sentence also. So just if there's a release, excuse me.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for going over that, Stacy, because I was going to say that if you'd be in touch with Trish, depending on the outcome of this
Absolutely.
interview, then she'll walk through that with you. Thanks so much.
I will call him in.
Hang on just one second.
Oh, okay.
Colleagues, do you have any questions before we start?
I do not. No.
And those are the only things that you wanted to share with us. There's nothing else new.
Nothing new. No.
Okay, thank you. We're ready now.
All right. Can you see yourself there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Alveno. Would you please share your name and number with us?
My name is ERICK ALVENO, 65 47 425.
I would like to let you know that there is a victim of your crime who's asked to speak, but first, I'd also like for you to share with us your mindset and the crime that you committed.
Okay, well, I know I committed a crime, and I feel sorry about. I know I did something terrible. I know I did something wrong, and I feel remorse about that. I wish I have a way to fix it. I know I have no way, but all I can do is pray for my victim, pray for his family. I really wish that somehow my victim forget about what I did to her, because every day I think about it, and I know it was something bad. I asked myself what I was thinking, and like I said, I wish I can fix it, but I had no way to fix it, and I just I work and being a better person now, and to never do that again. But at the same time, like I said, I feel remorse because I know I caused trauma on this person, and I don't know how to explain exactly what I wish I want to say, because like my English is not like perfect, but what I'm saying is from the bottom of my heart. I wish to this person to be a good person and never go through a traumatic experience ever again. I know she never gonna forget what happened, but I just feel sorry about it, and I feel bad, and I feel remorse, and
Thank you, Mr. Alveno. I'd like to know what was happening with you when you committed this crime. What was going on in your life?
I had a lot of problems like addiction with alcohol. I had like I don't know. I wasn't thinking right. I was a different person than what I am now, and I was going through depression, like I said, addiction problems, and I didn't know a way to deal with those problems. And I don't know how to explain like what I was thinking, because I wasn't thinking. I know it was wrong, but at the same time I didn't think about. And like I said, I've been incarcerated for 3 years, and in these 3 years I've been just working on being a better person and to never do something like that again. I mean,
All right.
because
Thank you. I appreciate you sharing. And now I would like for you to share the details of what crime you committed.
okay, that I remember that the day. I remember it every day. That night I was walking, and I saw the house. I saw somebody inside the house, and I went close to the window house, and I noticed the window was open, and I climbed inside the room. I saw a person like sleeping, and I touched her, and then she wake up. I kissed her on the chest, on the corner of the lips, and I told her to don't tell nobody. And then I start feeling something like, what am I doing? So, and then I get up, and then I climb out from the same window, and I left.
All right, thank you for sharing that information with us. As I said, we do have victims of your crime who'd like to speak today. I'm going to go ahead and have our victim coordinator, Heather, facilitate that for us.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to let you know that my husband is here with me. We're just going to provide a joint statement. Good morning to the board. Thank you for letting us make a statement. As the parents of one of Eric Alveno's victims, we understand he has a right to apply for parole and work release, and we accept the decision of the panel members this morning. However, we ask that if he is granted parole or work release, it be outside of Woodbury County. He is a serial stalker of young women who has committed multiple acts of physical and
Thank you for
sexually
your
motivated
statement. We appreciate
violence.
hearing from you this
And our daughter's
morning.
life was changed forever when
We're
he
gonna go
broke
ahead
into
and
her house
promote
and
you
sexually
back, have you
assaulted
go
her.
back to an attendee.
She was 13.
And you can
We
continue
ask that you
to
uphold her
attend and
rights
listen to the rest of the interview. Thank you so much.
to feel safe
Mr. Albino,
and live
having
without
heard this
fear
statement,
of
do you
Eric
have
Alveno living
anything to
or
say
working
to
in
the
our
board?
city. As Christians, we forgive him,
Yes, but
and we hope
I
he
don't
is
know if
sincere
she's
about
still
changing.
listening to me, but
We
if
still
she
ask that
is,
the
I
board
want to
consider
say thank
carefully
you,
her
and I want to
safety.
say
Thank you.
she said they forgive me, and it's something I pray for every day. I ask God so they can forgive me, and I want to say I'm so sorry for what I did, and it very means a lot to me that they say they forgive me, because I ask every day I ask God to forgive me so they can forgive me about what I did. And I know it was wrong, and I'm sorry about it.
Thank you, Mr. Albino. We're going to continue with our questioning this morning, and I'm going to ask my colleagues if they have questions. I'm going to begin with James Moses.
Thank you, Susie. How you doing, Mr. Alveno?
I'm good.
Doing pretty good. I saw that you are inactive. Are you currently inactive, or did you complete active yet?
I did complete.
You did complete?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you share with us what were some of the things that you are to take away from participating in active?
I didn't understand. Sorry.
What are some things that you learned?
Or
Take
something.
away things that you got from the class.
Okay, well, I took two treatments, like the active and the other one, and I would say that I learned a lot. I mean, a lot. That I learned things that I never learned in my life, now I know what is empathy is. For me, I think empathy is like something so important in my life. Before I didn't know about empathy. Now I do. Now I can say no. I just know, but now I know how to practice empathy. I know how I learn how important is my spiritual life. I know I was so selfish before, and now through treatments, I can say I know that the selfish person I was. I know how to control my emotions now, thanks to treatments. I know how to control my angers. I believe I am a new person, completely a new person, thanks to the treatment, because it's something before I didn't know about, like all the things I learned on treatment. Like I said, like empathy, my spiritual life, my selfish. Well, because I was so selfish, but I know how to control my anger. Like I said, it was something I really have a lot of problems before. I know how to say no to the addictions. I knew how to think before I act. I know how to take better decisions. I think it's very important for me to think before I do something, because that is something I never do before. I always was like just act and never thinking what I was doing. Now I am like I said, I am a completely new person. I've been incarcerated for 3 years, and these 3 years I never had a problem, because 2 weeks after I get arrested, I told myself that I need to change. I need to do something good for me, for my family. I know I did wrong, and I've been working hard to be a better person. And I think I am. I am not just think, I feel it. I am not the person who I was 2 years ago. And I feel good about it.
Okay. So when you talk about this transformation and you talk about this change that you've had and you discovered, what kind of things have you worked on with your position when you stalk a person? How have you been able to, or share with us how you've been able to work on that piece in establishing relationships?
Like what I can do for I didn't understand exactly that question.
Spanish.
Can you rephrase again?
Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna defer my questions, because I think there's going to be some issues, and I'm gonna turn it over to my colleague Jesse Rincon, who can speak to him in Espanol.
Okay.
Hello. Sí hablo español, okay?
Okay.
Lo que él quiere saber es qué aprendiste, porque tú tienes una carga de stalking, ¿ok?
Ujú.
Y él quiere saber qué aprendiste que no pasa eso otra vez.
Ok, como dije lo de, ¿sí puedo contestar en español?
Sí,
Ok, lo de antes no tenía empatía, no podía como ponerme en los zapatos de alguien más. Le hice daño a una persona, a una niña inocente, porque era una persona egoísta, no pensaba en los demás. Ahora, para yo poder no volver a hacer lo mismo, creo que he aprendido a tener empatía, a ponerme en los zapatos de las demás personas. Nadie, completamente nadie se merece pasar por un trauma como el que mi víctima pasó por mi culpa. So, creo que para yo no volver a cometer un crimen terrible como el que cometí, debo de poner en práctica todo lo que he aprendido durante los dos tratamientos que hice, poner en práctica la empatía, poner en práctica el amor por los demás, porque completamente nadie se merece pasar por un trauma como ese, y por tener en práctica, tener presente mis valores, que son muy importantes para yo ser una persona de bien siempre y pensar antes de tomar malas decisiones.
ok. So lo que tú estás diciendo es que ya puedes poner los zapatos de otro, ya puedes hacer eso, pero antes no, ¿verdad?
Antes no podía, antes como dije, era una persona egoísta, solo pensaba en mí.
Okay.
Ahora,
So, con permiso. So what he's saying is, I want to stop here. So it doesn't get too far into it. He's saying that before he could put himself in somebody else's shoes, but now through treatment and stuff, he's learned how to empathize and put himself in the position of the victim, which is something he never thought to do before because he was so worried, he was so self-absorbed what his needs were at that time. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna defer to the rest of you, but ask him to share 3 to 5 values that he got from.
Y lo que él quiere saber es los 3 o 5 cosas que son values, las cosas importantes de tu vida ahorita. ¿Qué son las cosas importantes? 3 o 5 cosas.
lo más importante, mi familia, sería uno,
Okay.
mis niños, mis
Yes.
papás, como personal growth, como
Sí.
para ser mejor cada día, eso es lo que mi trabajo,
His work.
mi espiritualidad, para mí es muy importante también. Y mi lealtad a los demás serían cosas importantes en mi vida.
Pretty much it. Gracias.
Gracias, mi amigo.
Gracias.
All right, thank you. Jesse, do you have questions?
I do. So I'm going to ask you in English, and if you don't understand, I'll tell you in Spanish, okay? Just
Okay.
for the purpose of this interview.
Okay.
So what do you feel your outcome of your detainer will be? Do you feel like you're going to be deported to where are they looking at, Guatemala or I can't remember.
Guatemala.
Guatemala. Do you think you will be deported?
Sí. Yeah.
And is that something you want to go back home?
No, it's not something I want,
Right.
because I wish I had a way to stay here, but because I have my 2 kids in here, I have my wife in here, but I know it's impossible for me to stay in this country. I don't see myself in this country anymore. And I accept it. I know I broke the laws of this country, and I gotta go. That's the only thing in my mind. I don't think I am staying in this country.
Besides alcohol, did you use any drugs?
No, I never use other drugs. I use alcohol.
So do you feel confident if you are, let's say, go back to Guatemala, do you feel confident you will have no more victims from this day forward?
Yes, I do. I do. I know. Like I said, I am a completely different person now. I'm sure I never gonna do something like that again. Like never. I am not just saying it, but I feel it in my heart.
Okay. And you say you have 2 kids. What's your relationship with the mother?
I don't have a relationship with her right now because I had a no contact order.
Okay.
So I don't talk to her.
That's why I asked you that. Okay, I
Okay.
appreciate that. I have no more questions for you, and thank you for answering the ones I did have.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate your answers, Mr. Alveno. I think that the questions that I have also been answered during this time. So now is the time that we're going to give you to share with us anything further you'd like for us to know today, anything you'd like for us to consider before we go into deliberation.
Like what my plans, my life, like
Si tienes algo más que quieres nosotros a saber.
well, I would say, yeah.
Dígame.
Okay. Can I say it in Spanish?
Yeah.
Okay, I would say that gracias, primero, gracias por darme la oportunidad de expresarme. Gracias por la oportunidad de aprender, por los tratamientos, de verdad, gracias porque me ayudaron muchísimo, me ayudaron a cambiar mi forma de pensar. Gracias a las autoridades, porque sé que me cometí un crimen y merecidamente he estado en este lugar. Me arrepiento de todo corazón por el crimen que cometí, pero también sé que necesitaba esto para cambiar mi vida, para ser una mejor persona. So, gracias, de verdad.
Okay, gracias. He said, thanks for the opportunity to speak in front of us. And he says he's thankful for the treatments that he was able to attend. He says, unfortunately, this happened, but it helped him change himself by this happening and through the treatments as well. So he's very grateful for this time and opportunity for interview.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you, Mr. Alveno. We're now going to go into deliberation. You'll be able to see us. You'll be able to hear us, but it won't be a time for you to participate.
Okay,
Once we have a decision, I'll come back to you and deliver that decision to you, and that'll conclude today's interview.
okay, thank you.
Colleagues?
I can go first. Being that this is a detainer, I'd be willing to go forward with the detainer, and in hopes also if this detainer does not go through and he's not deported, that there is some kind of diversion away in the victim's request, keep him away from the family. I think the codes that I would use is it PGD 5?
Yes.
PGD 5 with substance abuse, including for the 50A, the 40A, and you'd have the 20A as well, and the 30A for minors as well.
Just asking for clarification. Are you asking for the 20B, no early discharge?
I'm sorry, thank you.
No, that's fine.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
And then you want the 10B for the work
yes,
use.
absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Jesse.
Thank you.
James?
Okay. Like my colleague mentioned, I was pleased with hearing Mr. Alveno's what he's gathered from active when he shared his values, his familiar family, his spirituality, religion, Trabajar, his work with Trabajar, and I also hear very humble in his communication to us. On behalf of the victims, I appreciate the statement.
Thank you, James. I too am going to support the department's recommendation. I'm looking at someone who has completed treatment, SOTP and active. He also has a detainer that he also believes that it will move him outside of our country. In the event that that becomes challenging, it'll be a 10B to return to work release, which I can support that. I appreciated what he had to say today, and I really appreciated hearing from the victims. That has an impact on my decision. I also see that this is his first court commitment, and he's going to TBD off this sentence in March of 2026. So going ahead and beginning the process to send him to ICE for deportation, I think is appropriate at this time. I'll go ahead and deliver our decision. Mr. Alveno, you were able to hear our discussion. You understand that we are going to go ahead and support the department's recommendation to move you with the detainer going to ICE.
Yes.
In the event that there needs to be work release, we're going to go ahead and code that as well. So that's what the PGD5 to ICE means.
Okay.
And then the 10B means the work release. I will note that the work release is not in Woodbury County. There is a diversion on that work release. In addition to that, there's a 20B, which means that you will not TBD your sentence early. You will stay and you will complete your sentence, which will complete on 3/17 of 2026 on this current charge of burglary second degree. Okay. In addition to that, we believe that you need to be involved with substance abuse treatment. And we also will have a 50A included in our conditions. And that means that we want you to not partake in any type of drinking. You also are not to go into any established that primary activity is the sale of alcohol. So in other words, bars, which main activity is the sale of alcohol, or into liquor stores, for example. Do you have any questions about that?
No, I understand you. And
Okay. In addition to that, there's a special sentence attached to this, and your counselor will be bringing that back for some additional changes on the special sentence regarding how it was coded before. But that special sentence will go out beyond your burglary charge. And that TDD is February 12th of 2027. Do you understand?
yes.
All right, sir. We wish you all the best. Thank you. This concludes our interview.
Take care.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so what happened is that they paroled him. They said, you are going to ICE. Now, if for some reason ICE doesn't take you, then you're going to go to a work reversion program like work release. And if you do go to work release, it has to be in a different part of town. That's basically what happened. Now, his full term date was March 17, 2026. Plus, he has like another year or something with what they were talking about. And he was only locked up really just recently, 2022. I mean, are you kidding me? He also, he had a trial, this guy. He has a trial, a bench trial. We'll go through it. He's found guilty at trial, and they still give him this little itty bitty sentence. You can't make this stuff up. You really can't. It's absolute insane. It gets me pissed off. I think you had a great parole hearing. That was really great. You know, with the support you have, familial support. It's like, shut up. She has a freaking restraining order on him. Yeah, really? You think that he's gonna have access to his kids, or he should? What familial support? What are you talking about? The whole parole board is nuts. There was nothing good that he said. In what was his statement? I was walking down the road and I saw her, so I went inside and he was stalking her. Nothing of what he said was true. In the appeal, he was watching, he knew who she was. In his closing statements, what's he say? I'm sorry. Unfortunately, it happened, but it helped me change. What did the board say? He appeared very humble. Just shut up. I think that was a great hearing. You know, if you want to say, okay, whatever, he's getting sent out to ICE, he's getting sent out of the country. If you want to say, you know, we don't care about children in different countries, you want to have that motto, you want to say, why keep him? I guess go ahead. I mean, we have seen other states. We have seen Louisiana. We have seen where they would say, "I'm not sending you to a different country to harm more children." No, you're gonna stay locked up here. You know that. Where is the where is the conscious? Like, wouldn't you say that too? I just don't get it. Sometimes you just gotta. Plus, I mean, really, frankly, what's gonna stop him from walking right back in here? I mean, let's be real. I just can't. Iowa pisses me off. You know, if you like to see these Iowa parole hearings, let me know. Which parole hearings you want to see more of, let me know in the comments section. Let's go over this appeal. And thank you, Richard. Richard said, I said, Richard, I do one more hearing. It's got to be in the timeline to fit in. He said, man, you got to do this one. So look at this. Look at this little appeal. Can you imagine? This appeal was filed August 30th, 2023, and he has a parole hearing September 2024. I mean, the ink hasn't even dried on his appeal, and he's paroled. Have you even heard of that before? So he appeals his conviction for burglary in the second degree in violation with the code, and assault with intent to commit sexual abuse and indecent contact with a child. Three of these convictions, and he spends what, 2 years in 4 years in prison, I guess, if you include his jail time, his time served. He challenges the sufficiency of the evidence and alleges, and he went to trial. He didn't spare the court, right? Because substantial evidence supports the district in finding ALVENO did not preserve his prosecutorial misconduct claim, whatever. Background of all he's been is a drag on society, and it's just insane. The court can barely take anyone to trial, and now he makes them take him to trial. He's found guilty, and he's out 4 years. After serving just 4 years. The whole thing is ridiculous. The following evidence was presented at trial in February of 2022. In the early morning hours on June 6, 2020, NR woke up to find someone kneeling next to her bed. An unknown man was touching her around her shoulders, chest, and thigh over her blanket and was trying to kiss her on her lips and cheek. She's 13 years old. This is actually happening. NR asked him who he was and how he knew her while she tried to keep her blanket placed between them. The man told NR he liked her and had seen her at school. She told him no, pushed him away, and said her mom was a light sleeper. Her window had been open and some of her things had been moved since she went to bed. The man got up, told her, "Don't tell your mom, keep it a secret," and he left out the window. NR described the man as having dark hair, a dark jacket, khaki pants, and testified that she believed he was Hispanic because he spoke English with an accent. NR was 13 years old at the time. She today is still a minor, and he's getting out. NR woke up her mother saying a man was in her room. NR was very upset and said the man had gone out her window. When the mother went to the child's room, the window blinds, which had been closed earlier in the night, were open. The mother could smell that someone had been in her room. It smelled like body odor and alcohol. The mother called the police. The police found and presented a photographic evidence showing multiple handprints on the outside of NR's bedroom window and the mother's bedroom window. The officer who dusted the print testified the shape of the prints showed moments, meaning that the hand moved as it touched the window. There was a vertical movement. The officer further testified prints of somebody looking in would differ from someone opening the window. Just looking in would more commonly leave a side of the palm or a single touch, because he's saying he didn't do what he did. Window wells underneath each window were broken from somebody standing on them. A beer can was found on the ground on the same side of the house as the hand-printed windows. In August of 2021, the police biometric database matched the handprints found on the windows to ALVENO. And after the computer match, 2 fingerprint experts verified the comparison. A detective spoke with Alveno and said he did not know anyone in the area and would have no reason to be in the neighborhood. Alveno provided an explanation why his handprints would be found in the window during the interview. He said when he drinks beer, he drinks the same brand as the can found outside. The city had no explanation why his handprints would be there. The court found Alveno guilty of all 3 offenses, and he appeals, challenging the sufficiency of the evidence. He also asserts the prosecutor committed misconduct requiring a trial. So this man, he comes here, he doesn't plead guilty. He puts the courts through a trial. He's found guilty. He then appeals. Meanwhile, and then all of that, and he gets out. He gets a tiny little sentence, right? What was it? I mean, I guess if you count the time of the crime until he got a 6-year sentence for doing all of those things, being found guilty of all of those things after going to trial, and he gets paroled after serving 4 years of that sentence. He serves 2 years in prison from the time that he's even convicted after the jury trial. I mean, we live in a really great society that makes a lot of sense. How many of us watching this know someone that's serving more prison time for just, possession charge, tax evasion, the important things? They denied his appeal, but it made a difference. Like I said, this appeal was only recently denied because it was only filed August 30th, 2023. So there you have it. We've seen.
He is a serial stalker of young women who has committed multiple acts of physical and sexually motivated violence. And our daughter's life was changed forever when he broke into her house and sexually assaulted her. She was 13.